All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Raw Intuition Health Show. It is great to be with you again on another Sunday, and this Sunday is going to be a good one. All right, we've got an amazing guest. We've got Jamie Love, who is an anti-aging specialist. She has been on an inspiring healing journey throughout her life, and so we're going to hear a little bit about that, and then we're going to talk about ways that we can all practice anti-aging lifestyle habits, and hopefully help us to age gracefully and in a very vibrant and healthful manner. Jamie is also the founder of the Raw Food Worldwide Meetup, which is incredible, and I'm going to have her share with you about that as well. It's creating raw vegan connections around the world, and we definitely need more of that. So it's an amazing thing that she started up there. So let's get Jamie in here. What is up, Jamie? Welcome.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for that amazing introduction. I feel so honored to be on your show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to have you. So thank you for taking time to share your wisdom and some inspiration for the audience. I see we got Carl and Sherry in the audience already. So
Hey
what's up,
guys.
guys? Good to see you both. And yeah, Sherry, I'm sorry, we're running just a few minutes behind again, so don't yell at us.
We'll make it worth the wait.
Yes, we will for sure, for sure. All right, cool. So, Jamie, for people out there that are not familiar with you, can you just share a little bit of your backstory and how you got to where you're at, and then maybe a little bit also about the worldwide meetup that you started?
I would love to. Yeah. So, just to lay it out there, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't have any special degrees. I've literally just been my own scientist, trying different things. I was my own guinea pig over the past 20 years when I first started my healing journey. And it wasn't really something that I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing with my life. It was just kind of evolved into it as I started to heal, and I started to, lose weight and transform physically, mentally, and spiritually. People started coming to me asking me, what are you doing? What's this? You need to be putting this out there. You need to write a book. And I'm like, okay, like I guess, like I don't really, I'm not like an expert, but I think it's interesting because what you said in the title, anti-aging secrets they don't want you to know about. When I first went, my healing journey started because my aunt got cancer. My mom started reading to me. The first book that she read to me was Kevin Trudeau's book called Natural Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. So it's just such a weird coincidence that you use that title.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I just, my plant-based journey started about 20 years ago, and I started fasting and I started juicing and incorporating colon cleansing. And I've been doing these habits for 20 years.
Wow.
And then I started meditating and, getting into the more like holistic, aspect lifestyle. And then my raw journey, I haven't been 100% raw for the past 13 years. I don't know anybody who really is 100%, but
Yeah.
it's been a journey. But it started 13 years ago, and I was inspired by Annette Larkins.
Mm.
And the reason why I'm so into the anti-aging is because I saw her in her 60s. She looked like she was in her 30s, and I was like, I found the fountain of youth,
Yeah. Yeah.
like this is it. I want to be freaking gorgeous when I'm in my 60s, 70s, and 80s. So that's been my main motivating factor, like that's been like what's really been driving me is wanting just to be my best self and wanting to have good quality of life, you know, forever. Like I see so many people, including my family members, who are sick and they have, ailments and disease and um, lethargy and obesity. And I don't want to do that. I don't want that to be my life. And I moved to California, and every time I would go back home to Florida to see my family, they would see me growing younger and I would see them growing older. It
Right.
was just like this big contrast, you know? So just from my experience, from what I've been doing, you know, I haven't really, it's not like I've been studying. Yeah, and I have studied a little bit, but it's mostly just from my experience and what I see in the mirror, how I look and feel. And I've literally watched myself grow younger, spiritually,
Mm,
mentally, physically, just feeling more lively, more vibrant and alive and in love with life and youthful. So that's my story. Yeah, that's basically how I got here. And you know, and then I was looking for my own raw food journey, wanting community and accountability. That's why I started my meetup a year ago and here in Los Angeles. It just started to grow and it started to become such a beautiful um thing. And it's such high vibe energy at these events, and it feels so good to be a part of something, especially like-minded people who are on the same vibration, who
yeah.
think like you and who eat like you. It feels really good to have community. And I met Brian Johnson, who's like this anti-aging guy here in Los Angeles. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's vegan, and he started this global meetup around his "Don't Die" slogan. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so I went to some of his hikes and it inspired me. And I was like, why can't I do this for the raw food community? And I tried to bring this idea up to the people in the meetup. I was like, we should do this. We should do these global meetups. And they're like, what? You know, so like nobody was really understanding my vision. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do it by myself, you know?
Yeah.
So I was hoping like maybe we get like 4 or 5 people around the world and it would just continue to grow. We had for the first ever, never been done before, ever in history, a global raw food meetup happening, and we had 60 cities all over the world hosting
Wow.
these meetups all on the same day. And I'm getting goosebumps and chills just talking about it, because think about the vibration at my meetup and the vibration and energy at all these meetups happening collectively. Like we are really like spreading love and raising the consciousness of the planet. It's such a beautiful thing. So the next one's
Yeah.
going to be June 29th. I really think it's gonna keep growing and exploding. I'm so excited to see where this takes us. Yeah, and for the community, because my main goal was like really just to revive the raw food movement.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that. That's incredible. So thank you for doing
Yeah.
that service to the raw vegan community and to the world. Um, yeah, it's so inspiring to just see, you know, the action and, you know, the uh, uh, creativity that you're bringing to the community. So thanks for doing that. And I love when you were talking about, you know, the anti-aging benefits that you've experienced. It wasn't only physical, right? Like you've obviously obtained some great anti-aging benefits physically, but also you mentioned spiritually and emotionally, right? Like the raw foods, and I've experienced this as well, is it makes you feel younger on the inside. Like just your spirit feels more youthful. And so yeah, that's
And
just one of the
playful, right? Like, don't
playful,
you just
yeah.
feel playful and stuff? Like, you know, you
Yes.
just want to like play in the grass and do handstands and cartwheels and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like when's the last time you know, people in the audience have gotten like a grass stain on their pants or dirt under their fingernails, you know? It's
Yeah,
like we got to get out and play. That's
we
the
do.
yeah.
We do. Oh my goodness.
For sure. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing your story. I love that, and I'm so glad to have you here to share, you know, a lot of these tips that you've learned throughout that process. I know this is a topic that, you know, I think a lot of people are very interested in. So, and not a lot of people talk about, especially in the raw vegan community. So you're definitely bringing a new area of interest for people here. So, do you want to start us off with your first, your first tip, or whatever you came up with for ways people can start, incorporating some of these anti-aging benefits into their life?
Yes. Well, there's so many things that I would love, and I had to pick three. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, there's so many things that we can do for a healthy lifestyle. But one thing, like if there's nothing else you can do, I would say incorporate fasting
Mm,
into your lifestyle. Even if you're not eating raw or you're not even eating vegan, just incorporating fasting is going to stimulate autophagy, which is your body's natural recycling system to kill off all the old dead cells in your body, um, to create and regenerate new cells. And if I try to eat as raw as possible, but if I ever slip up or I ever like, let's say I go to a restaurant and I have like something that's vegan, but it's cooked and maybe it has salt in it or something, I'm gonna do a 24-hour fast the next day.
mm,
That's just how I roll. And I think the interesting thing is that people don't realize. They focus so much about food and about eating, but fasting is just as important, if not more important, than eating. And we should not be eating all day long. And Kimberly Snyder wrote this book called The Beauty Detox Solution.
mm.
And she has this saying called grazing causes aging.
Wow.
And Dr. Furman has a book called Eat to Live. And when I read his book, he said it's so important to fast. And he talks about fasting in between your meals, giving yourself enough time between your meals to digest the food before you even incorporate your next meal, and stopping before you're full. We have a tendency to overeat, to eat too much, so waiting at least 3 hours between your meals. And if you're not hungry, it's okay to skip a meal.
Hmm.
It's totally okay. Like, I incorporate intermittent fasting. I try to do a 24-hour water fast once a week. Even cleansing without water fasting, let's say like juice cleansing, like giving your system, your digestive system a break to allow your body the energy that it needs to heal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love that. And yeah, I actually just got back into doing a weekly fast myself as well. So with my good friend Sherry there, we're being accountability partners. So we do a 36 to 40 hour fast every week. So it's something.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
great. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
I did that for quite a while, like a few years ago, and I kind of got away from it. I'm kind of like off and on with my fasting, kind of routine. Sometimes I'll do it for a while and then I'll go a little while without doing it, but it always seems to come back into my life. So yeah, I totally agree. Fasting is definitely a powerful tool in healing and anti-aging. And that's why in my book, 5-Star Digestion, I include the eating window is an important aspect of creating good digestion, but also as you mentioned, it stimulates autophagy and just the recycling and the renewal of our cells. And so, yeah, very good point. I love that. And do you have a favorite? I guess you said 24 hours. Do you do intermittent fasting as well, or?
I do intermittent fasting. I do extended fasts. The longest water fast I did was 4 days. I've been playing around with dry fasting as well because you get 3 times the benefit that you do with water fasting.
Hmm,
Uh, I've done maybe 1 or 2 day dry fasts, and yeah, it's not just and it's really just intuitive. I'm trying to be more aware of it because for women with our hormones, it's a little different. So I'm
sure.
trying to be more mindful of not fasting the week or two before my cycle.
Mm.
But then I heard like the day you get your your cycle starts, like you can fast. And then like once you get into the, where the testosterone is higher in my body, like it's okay, okay to fast during that time as well. But just not leading up to your cycle. So trying to keep track of that better. But usually it's just intuitive. And when I'm hungry, I eat. And when I feel like fasting, I fast. And I feel like it's not just physical benefits. I feel like it really does something to your mind when you're fasting, and it spiritually as well. I feel like this sense of peace and calm surround me and fill me
Yeah.
when I fast, and it just feels like that mental chatter disappears.
Hmm.
So it's really just so beneficial all around. And then you really actually after a fast, you appreciate the food that you're eating. You just feel more
Hmm.
more gratitude to this nourishment that you're putting into your body.
Yeah, totally. Um, yeah, so true, so true. And forgot what I was gonna say, but
It's okay. I
uh,
do that a lot.
like there's like four things in my mind I was thinking as you were speaking there, but so yeah, what you said is spot on, and I also oh yeah, I think it was the dry fasting thing. So I've done it in the past. I got away from it though. I don't know. The hydration is like my I think hydration is important, but I've heard, the claims of dry fasting as well. Um so yeah. Anything else you
I think well, I would not recommend dry fasting if you're not an experienced faster. Like I said, I've been
right.
doing fasting for 20 years.
Right,
So, and
right.
I'm just now playing around with dry fasting, and it's very short. Like we're talking 1 to 2 days.
Okay,
So
sure.
it's yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm not telling everybody go do dry fasting.
Right.
No, no medical claim here or anything like that.
Right,
But
right.
definitely, that is something that you need to like really educate yourself about, and you really need to have somebody maybe guiding you and checking your vitals and things like that, because yeah, you do want to stay hydrated. And there are probably good protocols that you can do leading up to a dry fast, so and how to break it properly and things like that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, any
Mhm.
any any sort of fasting. I mean, like a few days is for most people not going to be an issue, regardless of the type of fast. But yeah, obviously no medical claims here. You gotta, do what's right for you, and definitely become educated about it before you start getting into that. So great points. All right, cool. Well,
Is it your turn now, or
yeah,
yeah?
I will. I'll give mine, and now full disclosure, I'm clearly not the anti-aging expert that Jamie is. So, I'm more of a novice here, and so I'm just gonna give my three thing or my first one here. So, my first one, and again, I tried to go a little different of an angle here. So my first one is forgiveness. All right. So forgiveness is a very important way to prolong and encourage youthfulness. When we are holding grudges, resentment, anger, towards ourselves or towards others, that is one of the most aging things, in my opinion, that you can do to yourself, because you're increasing cortisol and stress hormones and creating more oxidative stress in your body and just creating distress in your mind. And so the more you can release those, held up emotions, that are not serving your long-term health or really serving your immediate health, like a lot of times people are holding on to emotions that are harming their health, but it's not creating a resolution to the issues that they're that they're facing anyways. So I think the quote is, holding on to anger or resentment is like drinking poison and expecting it to harm your enemy or something like that. It's like when you hold on to these things and you are just continually, repeating these stories in your mind and arguing with people in your mind, you're only harming yourself. So I think that plays a big role in the aging process and just our overall enjoyment of life, and the outcomes that we're going to experience. So my first one, I would just say to do your best to create an emotional environment in your mind that promotes, it activates your parasympathetic nervous system. You create calmness and just peace within you as much as possible, even though the world around us is pretty crazy out there right now, and it can be very emotionally stimulating and triggering. But as Les Brown says, if there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can do you no harm. So do your best to just really become, as stable and balanced in your emotional state as you can, to create, less aging and just better long-term health overall. What do you think about that?
Well, you took one of mine.
Oh, did I? Nice.
Well, okay, it ties into mine, so I might as well
Okay.
just go into my second one. My
Sounds
second
good.
one.
Yes.
Yeah, so mine is very, very similar. You covered so much of what I was going to say, but your energy, mindset, and beliefs. So
Yeah.
it's on a conscious level, it's on a spiritual level, and beauty and youthfulness starts from within.
Mm.
So I like to say that godlike qualities such as love, kindness, humility, forgiveness, compassion, grace, patience, these things keep you young and they keep you beautiful, and they're attractive in your energy field. They're magnetic, and as the same goes for the opposite is true. Anger, resentment, jealousy, all of these things take a toll on you. They're toxic emotions that store in your body, in your energy field, your auric field, and they not only eat away at your spirit, but they're very repelling to other people. It's like not attractive. So I always say that youthfulness is a state of mind, and true beauty is a state of being. And it doesn't really, if you are a kind person, you are going to appear youthful and beautiful no matter what you look like on the outside. And if you could be the most beautiful person in the world, but if you're ugly on the inside, or you're nasty, like it's going to show right through, and people are going to see right through your beautiful face, that pretty face, they're going to see right through it, because ultimately what people are picking up on is your energy. And the thing with aging too is we have been conditioned. It's like passed down from generation of society to think that it's normal to grow old and to deteriorate, right? So we have to get quiet with ourselves, and we have to really see what thoughts are playing in our subconscious mind. So changing these thoughts by saying affirmations, subliminal reprogramming, and like you said, relaxing. To me, relaxation is key. Just trying to eliminate as much stress and anxiety as possible, and coming back to a place of balance and coming back to the present moment where psychological time doesn't exist, because psychological time is really what is aging us. And when we come and we can live through the present moment, and we can, come back to that childlike spirit and that childlike nature, that playfulness, that youthfulness is going to radiate out of us. And we are living in a timeless realm at that. So, yeah, I love what you said. And yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, yeah. Such great points.
Let me see.
And
Wait, let's see if I forgot anything. Hold on, I wrote notes down, but
okay.
yeah, toxic. Yeah. So, and like you said, definitely forgiveness and releasing these toxic emotions, finding healthy ways um, to forgive and to get to let go of all these grudges that you're holding on to.
Yeah, I think, as they say, words create spells, and I think the more that we can learn to speak, uh, you know, more loving and just positive uh, words to ourselves, and others, of course, but to ourselves, because that's where it starts, as you said. And I think that sets the foundation for so many other positive, cascading events to happen within the body when you're putting in that good energy, that good vibration, those good thought, processes, to really just, give your cells what they need to remain youthful and not to experience more stress and issues like that than needed. So if that
And
makes
well,
sense.
yeah, self-love.
Yeah.
We all like grow up, especially like as teenagers, we have self-doubt, we have self-judgment, we have disbelief in our abilities, and we just have to learn how to love ourselves, because love
Yeah.
is the most powerful force on earth.
That is true. That is true. Let's see. Um, One of the commenters said, "Dark emotions must be felt." So yes, for sure. We're not saying to ignore, these negative feelings, but to process them. I would say learn to process
In a
them.
healthy way. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. You got to learn to process the emotions, and that's going to allow you to release them rather than holding on to them and letting them fester within you. Because yeah, when you ignore emotions, you suppress them, and suppression. It's just there's nowhere for it to go other than just to stick there and cause more issues. So yeah, great great
Yeah,
comment
I'm
there.
definitely not a fan of toxic positivity, and
Right.
I probably cry, like I probably feel deep, deep pain once a day where I cry and I'm like I'm going through this dark night of the soul, and it just comes up, like, but as these triggers come up in your heart space, and there's a great book that you can read. It's called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer.
Mm,
And it's, to feel these disturbances coming up in your energy field before they reach your thoughts, and to relax and take that time to just sit and just witness it, be the observer. It wants to come out, it wants to be felt, it wants to release, and once it does, you're lighter.
mm,
It's
yep.
it's and then you just keep doing this, and it's this process of unfoldment, it's this peeling back the layers, and then you get closer to your true essence of who you truly are, like your true authentic self.
Yeah. 100%. All right. Love it. I love it.
Got a visitor over there.
Oh yeah. He always loves to jump in the shows. So
So cute.
yeah. All right. So my next one is,
Okay.
so as we've been, I'm like, there's another one that maybe I should replace one of mine with, but I'll go with what I got for now.
Okay.
So my next one, it really ties in with a lot of what we've said already, but finding ways to create more joy in your life, because joy, again, like self-love or like any of the other positive emotions that we've talked about, joy is going to give you that youthful, energy to yourself. And I know for myself, anytime I go on vacation or, do something fun on the weekends, I just, there's a whole new energy to me. And you can even see it in me. And it's just, it just shows that, and you don't have to go on vacation or wait for the weekend to get that energy either. You can find ways to create that same essence, that same, energy in you, throughout your regular day, just your normal routine. And you do that by finding, finding things that you're passionate about. I think one of the reasons why people are so unhappy and maybe they feel like they're aging faster than they should is because they don't play, as we said earlier. They don't do anything that truly brings out the child within them. They don't do anything that they're really passionate about. They're usually just watching a Netflix show or watching the news or watching, somebody else doing something fun, right? So the more we can bring in just little activities, even just start with little activities. Maybe like have a, if you have a family or you have a friend, just start like a board game night if that's something that you enjoy. Like I love board games, and so that's always something I enjoy doing. But it can be anything. It can be going for a walk. It can be, singing. I know Jamie's a singer. You could do singing. You can dance. Anything, whatever it is that brings out the joy in you and just gives you that good energy. I think that is going to be, one of the greatest things you can do for, again, your aging process as well as just your mental health, and really just kind of finding those ways that maybe you and things you enjoyed as a child is something that is usually suggested to find what your passions are. What did you enjoy doing as a child? Back at those things, and a lot of times, that's things that you can still enjoy doing today as an adult. So I think thinking about those things and bringing that into your awareness is going to be a good step towards anti-aging and just creating youthfulness in your life.
Oh, I love this one. This one's so good. Yes, joy. Oh my God. I feel like I'm just living in joy all the time. But um service too. Doesn't it feel
Oh
you
yeah.
feel joy like when you give back? Like I I sometimes I drive, but for the most part I like to bike.
Hmm.
And when I'm on my bike on a beautiful day and the sun's shining and I'm driving through like a beautiful neighborhood with beautiful houses and I have classical music on, that brings me so much joy. And then on top of that, if I see strangers walking by and we wave and we make eye contact and we make a connection, I feel like I made somebody's day brighter, even if I don't even know them, or you hold the door open for a stranger or something, like that just brings you so much joy.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that you said that. Service. Yeah, service. That's such a
Service,
important
yeah.
point. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And there was another one too that I it slipped my mind. Maybe it'll come back, but
Yeah. Cool. All right. What do you got next? What's your
okay.
third one?
Okay, guys. Natural beauty care.
Nice.
Natural beauty care. Okay. So I say natural beauty care because I I think this has really helped with, my skin and everything. I stopped using chemicals years ago, probably around the time I went raw. I found out about this company called Arbonne, and I became a rep for them. I started selling, and I was learning about what they're doing, and I had never ever knew that the chemicals in the products that you put on your skin only takes 26 seconds for it to enter your bloodstream. And
Mm.
I didn't realize all of the negative side effects from using chemicals on your skin. So I ended up stop wearing makeup. I stopped using lotions and chemical soaps and things like that. So that was a huge turning point for me that sometimes I talk about lightly, but it probably is a really huge factor, especially the makeup thing, because I was putting on, when I was younger, gobfuls and gobfuls of foundation and concealer and eyeshadow and everything, and your skin can't breathe, And I'm 39 now, and I feel like my skin is pretty good for um, for my age, and I don't wear any makeup. And that was a really big thing. I hated having to wear makeup, and I was like, I want my skin to be beautiful and glowing from the inside out. Like I just want it to look so healthy that I don't have to cover anything up. So Now I don't even like people. I'll tell people like, oh, I only use natural things on my skin. And they're like, well, I have this really great product from this company and like they use like all natural ingredients. I'm like, no, I'm not going to use that. Like, thank you, but I'm not going to use that on my skin. So I'll just tell you a little bit about what I do and what I use.
Perfect.
First, I like to steam my face to open up my pores, and I use these herbs. It's actually a laxative called Swiss Crisp, but if you put it in the water, I have a rice cooker and I put a towel over my head and I steam my face. And the herbs actually pull out toxins out of your skin, so it opens it up. Then I do a bentonite clay mask. Sometimes I'll add some activated charcoal in there, mix it with some apple cider vinegar, put that on my face, and that helps to draw toxins out, minimize your pore size. This is like the best one, you guys, is the bentonite clay mask. So really love that one. And what else? I do this like derma roller thing to help stimulate collagen on the face. And then I have this little eyebrow shaving tool that I use to scrape off dead skin cells to help, regenerate new fresh skin cells. And sometimes I will put ice cubes on my face to help bring the blood flow and nourishment to the surface of the skin. And trying to think of what else I wrote it down. I try not to use tap water when I wash my face. So I don't use soap anymore. I stopped using soap maybe 7 years ago on my face. I don't use any cleansers or anything like that. I use a cotton pad, and then I put some organic, very high grade tea tree oil
Mm,
with apple cider vinegar, mix it with some distilled water, and I just wipe that over my face, and that cleans my face.
wow.
And obviously, if I'm doing a mask, like I don't have that much distilled water in a water bottle, I will use but I have like a filter on the sink in the bathroom.
Mm.
So at least it's like I'm trying to get some filtered water to put on my skin. And then what else? Sometimes I put aloe on my face at bed before I go to sleep. I'll put aloe on my face. And then for moisturizer, jojoba oil I use, raw shea butter
Mm.
is my favorite. I love raw shea butter. Again, Kimberly Snyder, she wrote the book, The Beauty Detox Solution. She told me she just uses that because I was using all kinds of, these anti-aging creams, but they have chemicals in them, so
Right.
at that point, I stopped using sunscreen and I stopped using any kind of moisturizer and I just started using shea butter. Even when I go out in the sun, I use shea butter. So I just love how like thick it is and how it just makes my hands feel and my feet feel. It's just such a nice thick cream. If it's too heavy, you can use jojoba oil. And also my hair too. Like I even, um, I mean, I haven't been using shampoo and conditioner for a while now. I actually use distilled water mixed with baking soda and some Himalayan sea salt,
Mm.
and then kind of lather that around and then rinse that out, and then I use apple cider vinegar mixed with water, and then I rinse that in, let it sit for a minute, rinse it out, and then I'll go back and I'll just put the distilled water over my hair again just to get the tap water out. Even though I use a filter, I try to end with the so that's
Sure.
what I do.
Wow.
Yeah. And I stopped dyeing my hair. I had dyed my hair for many, many years, and it was just damaging my hair, and who knows what was going into my scalp and everything. So I stopped using hair dye. But if you do dye your hair, you want something natural. I have used Rainbow brand for henna, and it's a really great brand. I highly recommend that for a natural hair dye.
Wow. Great tips. Great tips. I'm taking note on those. I'm gonna start trying those. I
Okay.
don't need the hair care and
The
advice,
shampoo,
but
yeah.
maybe for my
For the
facial hair.
beard.
Yeah. Cool.
Um,
Well, that's awesome.
yeah.
I love the natural beauty tips because it is such I just feel I it's just so like disturbing to me knowing the chemicals that women especially are putting on their skin with the makeup that they wear and the other beauty products that they use. It's so so sad to know that people are putting that on their skin. And like you said, 26 seconds is all it takes for it to start absorbing into the bloodstream. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Your skin is the largest organ on your body.
yeah,
It's the largest organ. Yeah.
right. And yeah, and it absorbs what you put on it. So, what you put on your skin, you might as well be eating, pretty much.
Yeah,
So
my mom used to say that. She says if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
great advice. Great advice. All right. Well, there's several comments in here of people, one, loving what you're saying, and also, other natural beauty product users. Annie says, I use all natural, no chemicals in any makeup or lotions or soap. Yeah, that's great.
Great, great job. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
It's so
Um,
funny, right? Because we're like trying to protect ourselves from the sun, because we don't want to age ourselves, but then
right.
we put the chemical sunscreen on, we go fry out in the
Yes,
sun, or
I
we're
know.
spraying the tanning oil and everything, and then we put makeup on and we go out in the sun. Like you can't put chemicals on your skin and then go out in the sun.
Right. I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredible what people have been. I call it being under the industry spell, right? So that applies to both the things that we eat, but also to the things that we put on our skin and the things that we see as suitable for, exposing our bodies to, because,
Yeah.
it's like I don't. I mean, I get it because it's just what we've been brought up with, and it's just what's normal to people. But when you take a step back and you start to realize some of these things that we've been convinced are food and our beauty products or whatever.
Even sunglasses too.
Yeah, sunglasses. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we've been separated from nature to a point where now, I think people are starting to recognize it because of how many people are experiencing chronic disease. Um, but we definitely need more people out there speaking about these things like you are. So thank you for bringing awareness to that. Um, and I can go on to my third one if you'd like. All right. All
Yeah,
right.
go for it. Yeah, I'm
Cool.
excited. What is
All right, so
it?
yeah, there's a few I could go with, but I'm gonna go with one that I've been more recently looking into just for the next book that I'm writing, and that is to eat as many colors as you possibly can, because the colors in the foods are the phytonutrients. It's the polyphenols and the carotenoids and the other beneficial vitamins and minerals that you're getting. But the colors specifically are very important for directing the genetic expression that we have and our metabolic pathways that are, controlling what's going on within the body. And this affects aging quite a bit. So knowing how to use colors that in our diet to regulate our genetic expression, our metabolic pathways, the oxidative stress that's within our bodies. Using the colors is how you put yourself in a position where you're turning on the genes that promote health and longevity. You're going to initiate sirtuins, which protect and rebuild the telomeres, which, as each cell in our body divides, the end of our chromosome gets a little bit smaller over time. And when you activate sirtuins, which are longevity genes or protein or enzymes, they can help to maintain the length of the telomeres. And so the longer you can maintain that, the more youthful you'll be, and the less chronic disease you'll experience. And so eating these colors activates sirtuins, it activates AMPK, which is a metabolic pathway that reduces inflammation and activates a lot of autophagy and all these things that promote health and longevity. So the colors, I like to say, and this is kind of what I'm talking about in the chapter I'm writing right now in this new book. It's the color, how in traffic, when we're driving or using any sort of transportation, we use colors to direct our behavior on the road, right? So we've got red is stop, green is go, yellow is slow down. We've got the flashing red, white, and blue lights on emergency vehicles and the police. And so we've got orange, caution cones and construction signs and things like this to direct us how to behave on the road. So if we didn't have these colors, it would be very difficult to direct the flow of traffic and to make sure that everything was moving in a positive flow and direction. So in the same way, we use colors to keep everything working correctly on the roads. Our bodies use the colors that we take in our diet as a way to direct our genetic expression and our metabolic functioning and the oxidation within our body. And so that is how you can create an environment in your body that promotes youthfulness and promotes the prolonged health of every cell in your body. So that would be my third and final one. I was going to do sleep because sleep is so important as well, but the colors, yeah, the
Who needs
colors,
sleep now?
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The colors are definitely one that I like to promote, and it goes along with my 5-star salads because I do promote getting at least 5 colors in your dinner salad, or whatever time of day you have a salad, if you do. But yeah, colors are definitely one of those magical gifts that nature has given us, and the colors give us that indication of where these components in the food, these bioactive components that foods contain, the colors tell us exactly where those are at, and that's why we have color vision. So it's easy to find them. You just got to get them into your body, and you'll experience some of those benefits.
Wow, I've never ever heard anybody explain that. That's really fascinating. I
Cool.
love that. Yeah, and you honestly, you sound like an expert to me. So I'm excited for your book to come out. That's
Well,
great.
thank you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, I
excited to
think you
get it
should
done.
talk more about anti-aging. You should
Maybe I will.
definitely.
Maybe I
Yeah, you
will. Yeah.
should. You should.
Sweet. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the information that you brought to the show as well. It was
I
super
hope it was
helpful.
helpful. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
it definitely was. So, again, where is the best place for people to find you? Before we have a few minutes here to do Q&A if that works for you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So, Jamie Love, I'm on Facebook, also on Instagram. My handle is agelessbeauty143. You could just send me a message, or there's a link in my bio. I have all kinds of stuff. And then the worldwide or Raw Food Worldwide Meetup on Instagram. Join the movement and be a part of the worldwide community. We have a global event happening on June 29th. You can attend a meetup in your city. If there's not one to attend, you can host. It's super easy, it's free, and we can grow this movement and change the world together. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this.
It's awesome. Yeah. Again, thanks for doing that. That's so cool. Um, and then also, so you have a free gift. So as everybody knows, we always do a giveaway for somebody that asks a question during the Q&A. So I will be giving away any one of my ebooks. So you can get any of these ebooks. Just let me know. You can get one of them because I know a lot of you might win and you've already got one of these. So anyone that you're interested in, just send an email to matt@myrawintuition.com if you're selected as the winner, and you'll get a free ebook copy of whichever of these books that you want. And then, Jamie, what is the free gift that you're offering as well?
I have a little free guide. It's a little anti-aging guide. It's super cute. It has my story and my journey in there and some tips um and yeah. So I would
Sweet.
love to give that away. And that's what I have for now, but eventually I'm going to be working on, I'm working on a bunch of other things.
Cool.
So lots more to come. So stay tuned for sure. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. No, I love it. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that as well. So yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
all right. Well, let's head over into the Q&A. Oops. Into the Q&A room. Here we go. Over in front of the blackboard here. So let's start getting your questions in here, guys, if you have any. We would love to answer whatever questions you have. And if you could, well, no, I was going to say put question marks in front of it, but anything that comes through, I'll see now. So let's see. I don't think I saw anything earlier. Just looking through the chat here. So, any questions, you guys? I guess I can start us off. I'll ask you a quick question here. So, do you? Oh, Carl beat me. Here we go. Carl's got a question.
Go, Carl.
Any tips on washing your face if it feels oily from using raw shea butter?
The tea tree takes everything off.
Tea tree.
Yeah, and steaming, steaming your face every few days, that really gets everything out too. But yeah, I mean the tea tree and the apple cider vinegar in itself is enough to really clean my face with the distilled
Perfect.
water.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much. Uh,
Yeah, thanks for the question.
yeah, thank you, Carl.
You get
Sherry
a free
said,
book. You get a free book.
yeah,
You get a
exactly.
free guide. You get a free guide.
Sherry would like to know, what is a typical day of eating like for you?
Oh, girl, I'm not consistent. I'm not the best person to ask like what I eat in a day because I it's always different. I'm high raw, not 100% raw. I try to eat as raw as possible.
Me too.
Um, yeah, and I will make exceptions sometimes if I go out or I'll have some cooked vegetables. Always plant-based, always vegan, and like I said, if I do, I will detox after. But let's see, at home, I fast for probably a good portion of the morning, probably until lunch. Sometimes dinners. I eat maybe one or two meals a day, just depending on how long I'm intermittent fasting for that day. But it's really just intuition. Like, what am I feeling in this moment? What am I craving? What does my body need? Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I just want fruit mono meals today. And
Yeah.
sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I just want a big salad with microgreens and avocado in there and flaxseed, and vegetables and stuff. And sometimes I wake up and I just want a smoothie or I just want juice. I just want to do nothing but juice that day. So I'm all about listening to my body and what I need and how I feel. Like I said, if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat that much. If I'm really hungry, I'm not going to starve myself. I'm going to eat a lot. So I don't count calories. I really just go by what I'm feeling and and changing it up. Like I like to change things up. And when I do get into something that I really love, like I have this salad that I make with I like portobello mushrooms with cucumbers and tomatoes and um, uh, uh, what else do I put there? Like lots of microgreens. I love the microgreens.
Yeah.
And I actually like that instead of lettuce. Like when I have these big salads, I just love these microgreens instead of like
Nice.
chewing on a bunch of lettuce.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like I just have like this go-to salad that I love to make. And um yeah. Yeah, just sorry, I'm not like the best person to ask. I don't do like recipes and I'm not like Matt, like a chef in the kitchen. I keep it really simple. Like sometimes I'll just cut up some apples and have it with almond butter. When I
Yeah.
first went raw though, I used to do these extravagant gourmet raw dishes and make these cheesecakes and things in the dehydrator and I would make these wraps and pizza crust and everything. Like I'm just like I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, so
I'm the
it's just
same.
super simple. Yeah.
I am the same. I'm very simple with the way that I eat. Um, well, yeah, thank you for sharing that. Annie says tea tree oil is so strong. I use it for cleaning. So do you add water before using it, or do you use it just straight?
So I have a whole thing of cotton pads, little circle cotton pads. I use a lot of them. Sorry, I know it's probably not very eco. eco-friendly, sustainable, but it does the job, So I have
Yeah.
these little cotton pads, and I put a few drops of tea tree on, on the cotton pad, and then I add I have apple cider vinegar, raw apple cider vinegar in a spray bottle that I spray on the cotton pad,
Mm.
and then I wet the cotton pad. So it is diluted.
Mm.
And then I use that on my face, and that just works wonders. My husband actually taught that to me, and I was hooked. Once I tried it, I was like, oh my God, my face feels so clean. But like I said, I'm not a what are those beauty people called? Esthetician. I'm
Uh-huh.
not a nutritionist. Like this is just what works for my skin. So do your own research, try things on yourself. It might not work for your skin type. I really don't know. I didn't go to esthetician school or anything like that. So you have to try it. And an esthetician,
Yeah.
I've had estheticians literally tell me that everything that I do on my skin goes against what they are taught in school,
Yeah.
including like the ice cubes and the what else? I use hydrogen peroxide on my face too. They're like, why are you using hydrogen peroxide? And I use the tea tree, and they're like, that's so harsh on your skin. But I don't know. It works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you got to go against the mainstream, as I'm sure most people in this show know.
yeah.
um, let's see. Uh, Carl says, he said, "Can I message you to ask what kind of tea tree you use? I don't want to get the wrong one." Or if
Yes.
you,
Message me. I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
there you go. All right, perfect. Let's see. Annie loves microgreens as well. Annie is a master microgreen grower. So anybody that wants to learn how to grow microgreens, definitely you'll get some inspiration from Annie if you go check her out, Annie Beard. Sherry says, for those who do low to non-fat, like many raw vegans, how does that work in terms of getting the fat-soluble nutrients the body needs?
I'm not a low fat raw vegan at all. There are days when I eat low fat, there are days where I'll do like I'm doing a fruitarian cleanse, a 3-day reset
Hmm.
Monday through Wednesday of this week. But I definitely love my fats. I love avocado, flaxseed, chia seed, sprouted almonds, yeah, I probably wouldn't be the person to ask
Sure.
that question. What about you,
Yeah,
Matt?
yeah. I would say, I think there's more. I think that's made out to be more of an issue than it really is, because when you think about it, most of the foods that we're consuming with, the fat soluble vitamins, they're gonna have fat in them anyways. That, I mean, some more than others, but you really, from what I've looked at and other experts that I've heard talk about this, it's not really that necessary to add a bunch of fat. Like, and if you are adding fat, you don't need to add much. But you will still absorb um, a good amount of the fat soluble vitamins from the foods you're eating, even if you don't add fat to it. But if you do, you don't have to add much. So whether you're just using, a little bit of a nut or seed based dressing on your salad, that's, you only eat a tiny little bit and it's gonna do the job. But even if you didn't, even if you just use lemon juice, you would still absorb fat soluble nutrients from foods you're eating. So um, again, like most, like nuts and seeds are usually the ones that have higher amounts of fat soluble vitamins. So, but also, vitamin A, coming from, leafy greens that have beta carotene in them, you're still going to absorb the beta carotene just eating the leafy greens. Leafy greens have a very good ratio. So they do have fat in them. What most people don't seem to know this is that leafy greens have a small percentage of fat in them, which is also a good balance of omega-3 to omega-6. So if you're wanting to balance out your omega-3 to omega-6 ratio, which would also be a beneficial thing for anti-aging, eating a lot of leafy greens would give you more of that ALA that's going to help you get those anti-inflammatory omega-3 fats. So Yeah, I don't think it's really something that people need to be too concerned about. But if you are, just add a tiny bit, and you can still stay well within the low fat, category of eating.
Good thing you're here. You know a lot more about that than I do.
I've looked
I
into
don't
some
even
of
think
these things.
I don't even think I know what fat soluble vitamins are. I don't know anything
Ah,
about
yeah,
that.
it's vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and vitamin K. Those are the
And you
fat.
only get that, people think that they don't get that through a low fat diet?
Yeah, I mean, there's studies and research out there showing that you absorb more of these fat soluble vitamins when you consume them with a larger amount of fat. So, like adding more nuts and seeds to your salads would help you absorb more. But again, like if you're eating, a sufficient amount of calories from whole foods, you're gonna be getting, because nature is not trying to trick us, right? Like it puts everything that we need to absorb what we need from the food in the food itself. So like you don't have to combine things in order to get, sure there are examples where you do absorb more of something um like the what is it? Curcumin from turmeric. When you include black pepper, you get more of that. But again, like even the amount that you would get without the black pepper, it's still what you should get. Like, just getting more isn't always necessary. So again, it's really just about eating a wide variety of whole plant foods. Like again, I think you should focus on colors, a wide variety of colors in your diet. And yeah, it's going to cover your bases with, regardless if you try and match up these fats with these different foods or not. So
I'm learning so much today.
I'm glad. Me too. Me too. I already feel younger just talking to you. So thank you. Okay, let's see. Sherry says, which is why Chef AJ has great blood work. Yeah, exactly. On her low fat diet, high in greens. Agreed. Yes,
Mm.
I think that is a good indication, or a good example of that. Sherry says, agree. Like people say, you don't get more nutrients if you cook carrots, but maybe your body doesn't need, or you. People say you do get more nutrients if you cook carrots, but maybe your body doesn't need it in those higher amounts. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't need to cook carrots to get more beta carotene, or whatever else they say. It's you just eat a bunch of foods that are high in beta carotene, like pretty much all plant foods, greens and peppers.
Yeah, my motto is you could drive yourself crazy trying to learn all these little things when
Yeah.
for me it's like just eat raw or as raw as you can
Yep.
and then use that free energy towards your purpose,
Yeah.
because we'll drive ourselves crazy with trying to get the science and this and everything else. And there's going to be so many conflicting ideas. And, that's why
Yep.
I'm so big on, just how do you feel and using your intuition to guide you on what your body needs. And I love the idea of just adding lots of variety and colors.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the way to go as well. I agree. Like if you eat based on what science is telling, it changes all the time. Like
It does.
so if as long the way to cover your bases, in my opinion, is what you just said. Eat a variety of foods, different colors, and most likely you're gonna hit your bases. Maybe there's a few examples of things that you could pay more attention to, but for the most case, that's gonna be a good place to start. Is just eating a wide variety of colorful foods, and yeah, that's what I would say. All right, cool. Carl says, do you use is it GUASHA? Do you know what that is?
Guasha.
Guasha?
Guasha. Oh, well, here we go. This brings up a huge thing that I forgot to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, facial exercises and facial massage was going to be one of the biggest things, part of the natural beauty care that I recommend. I have not really gotten into the actual gua sha tool, but gua sha is really anything that's going to redden your skin to bring blood flow to the surface,
Mm,
which I do through facial massage. Which facial massage helps to drain the lymph in the face, and it helps to reduce puffiness, bring blood flow to the face. And also the scraping that I do has a gua sha effect as well. And just using my hands, my hands like on my face. So just clean hands, clean face.
cool. Yeah, I had never heard of that. So thanks for sharing. Let's see. Mallory, what's up, Mallory? She says, I heard Dr. Brooke Goldner says she only uses shea butter on her skin now, including on her face. What are your thoughts?
That's all I use. I love it. I use shea butter on my face. I probably wash my face like a couple times a day and I put shea butter on my face. Sometimes I don't put anything on my face. I just let my face breathe for a while, like even for a few hours after I wash my face, and then
Hmm.
I'll put some shea butter on. So we don't always have to have moisturizer on our skin, like it's okay to just allow your skin to just be and just to breathe. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I love shea butter so much. I buy a huge bag of it, like a big bag,
Yeah.
And it's funny because like anybody's saying like, oh, well, this lifestyle, maybe it costs a lot to eat this way or to be raw, but or whatever. If you cut back on the amount of skincare and makeup products you're using, you're gonna save so much money. Like you could really just do all natural things um, and save a lot. Like I really don't think we need to be wasting our money away on products that, hide themselves as natural. Even the cleanest skincare product lines, to me, I don't think we really need.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, and I say that as well about, like, I don't buy alcohol anymore. I don't go to bars. I don't really go out to eat. I don't spend my money on a lot of different things that I used to spend it on. So you just reallocate your money towards health promoting things, and take the money away from the things that were harming your health, that were causing you a lot, costing you a lot of money, and that money is now available to put into health promoting foods and health promoting products and things like that. So yeah, great point. So that is all the questions we have. So we can wrap it up here. It's been outstanding. Thank you again, Jamie, for sharing all of your wisdom with us. I'm gonna quick do the drawing here, and I'm working, guys. I'm
Thank
working
you.
on.
And thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys for being here.
Yes, for sure. Guys, I'm working on a new little tool that I can use to pick the names now. It's like a little circle. It's like a little pinwheel that'll have your names on it. So I can enter you in there, and then that's how we'll select the winner. But I haven't got it set it up yet. So I'm just gonna do the regular way where I just scroll through the chat
You close
box.
your eyes.
Yeah, and whoever it lands on is who's gonna win. All
I love
right.
that.
So here we go. All
Here we
right.
are being in our childlike nature,
Yeah,
playful.
exactly. All right. The winner is Annie Beard. Annie Beard, you are the winner
Yay!
of the whichever one of my ebooks that you don't have that you would like. And then Jamie's free gift as well. So you're going to get that. Just send an email to me at matt@myrawintuition.com, and I will get that over to you as soon as possible. So thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Sherry and Mallory and Carl and everybody else that made this a fun Sunday afternoon for us, or morning, I guess, for Jamie. So thank you. Thank you all. We will see you
Thank you
next
guys.
week with another guest, and I can't remember who it is, but stay tuned, and I'll make a post about it. And then I hope to see you. Hope to see you again. And we've got in just about 40 minutes. We've got the game show going this week. Jamie was a contestant just a few weeks ago. So, yeah, this week we've got Dr. Ben Alter, and he's going against Dr. Daniel Chong. So we've got two doctors going at it today. So that'll be fun.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's
Better come
gonna.
up with some hard questions.
I know, I did. I stepped it up a notch. So, and I actually just finished writing the questions this morning, so I was running behind. But yeah, so I hope you guys tune in. Again, it's at 2:00 Eastern time, and we'll have some fun. So thanks again, Jamie. We'll see you. I'm sure I'll see you around. Love to collaborate again with you at any time. So thanks again, and thanks everybody. Have a great Sunday afternoon. Take care.
Hi, thank you so much.